Okay. Hey, everybody.
Oh, we going live! We got it for Blue Bro, baby.
We are live. Round 5 fan cams after a heart-stopping 3-point win against Port Adelaide. I can't believe that just happened. It was Carlton, 14 goals, 10, 94, defeating Port Adelaide 13, 91 in a thriller. I'm assuming there's going to be a lot of mixed emotions. I've got Stevie here with me. Mate, what was that?
Another one, hey?
Yeah.
Unbelievable. Hearts and mouth stuff once again.
Yeah. Half time, we're sitting there, 50 points up. To be fair, like we've been saying, like after quarter time, keep going on with it. Don't just play one quarter. See if we can get two. They played 2 brilliant quarters, up by 50 points, and then
bottled it.
And just stopped. Like just completely just stopped. Energy sucked out of them. It was Gold Coast last week energy. What did you think? What happened? What was it?
Exactly what you said. We just run out of energy and we just stopped playing stagnant football.
Yeah.
Just needed that energy going again. And we just hearts and mouth stuff.
Yeah,
Hawthorn, here we are again. A week later. I mean,
I know.
What to say?
I think the stresses will come and we'll be stressed. And yes, we should have won by more. We've got to put them away. Yes, we do. But we've still got to make sure we don't lose games no matter what. And we're just that team. This is the team that we are. We don't know how to do it. We don't know how to manage a game. We don't know how to put the foot down. But I mean, seriously, up by 50 and win by 3 in the end. It's just, you know, you want to
love giving us heart attacks.
Yeah, I know.
Right?
We're a dramatic club, and we love providing the drama for the fans. That's, I don't know.
Another one in the bag, though. That's it, right?
No, that's right. 4-1. We're a third of the way to 12 wins. You and I enjoyed ourselves at the President's Club function.
Fantastic event.
Great event. Great food. Good session that was put on there. Walked away a little bit. Came back after halftime. Yeah.
How were the vibes
I know.
at halftime, right?
I know.
Unbelievable.
I know.
Well, like 100 points.
I know.
And
I think everyone was in the same boat. We're having conversations at halftime. We're like, oh, yeah, you know, this percentage boosting win. Gee, we could be in the top 4 at the end of today. But the scary part for me is as good as we can be just as bad.
Absolutely.
And that's the scary part.
It is.
That's the scary part. And I don't know, are we moving forward? Well, of course we are, because we're winning. We're winning these games that we would have lost in the past, but they've got to fix it up. They've got to fix up, I don't know what it is, their energy levels.
Yeah.
They feel like they got the job done early. Like, I don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah, it's just structure, energy-wise, we have to bring better game.
Yeah.
If we're going to win more games, and just bring that energy every week. The energy, it was like so high, and then it went so low, right? So quickly.
Yeah, the negative thoughts. Because they kicked a couple in a row in the third.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, all right, we're going to kick one here, but we didn't. They kicked 5 in a row, then they just kept going. And then once they got within a goal, it's just couldn't sit down.
Amon, when he lined up for that goal, 50 out, full left footer.
Yeah.
I thought he was going to nail it, to be honest.
Same. Heart in mouth stuff. But we're 4-1.
4-1, baby. 4-1.
4-1.
Go to next week, Fremantle.
Fremantle next week. Important win. Mate, you're the first person to join the fan cams in the studio.
It's an honour.
It's a pleasure to have you here.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah. One of the OGs. Yeah.
Good to be here.
Any last thoughts before I let you go?
Up the buggers!
Baby! Love it, bro. All right. Let's begin. Ladies and gents, I'm going to get a few of you in here. I'm going to put the link in the comments shortly for those of you who want to come on and share your thoughts. Let's go. Kira.
My heart's not okay. Oh, man.
That was not okay. That was not okay.
No, it was not okay, but we won. I mean, I think I would have loved to have skipped the heart attack and won by 100 points. Like, I think a few of us got a bit of ahead of ourselves at halftime. Although I said at halftime, the Carlton trust issues tell me we'll choke this.
Yeah, I know.
But
I know.
In the past, if we choked, we would have fully choked. And not won at all. So we'll walk away, run away with the 4 points, and we'll bag them. And like Voss said, much prefer to learn winning than learn losing. But
of course. I mean, look, if we get to 12 wins winning like that, everyone's going to take that because it means we're playing finals football. But there is so much this group needs to just figure out, isn't there?
Yeah, absolutely. Those third quarters are proving to be a bit of a problem.
Yes.
But I'm sure Voss will work to fix them up. So hopefully he can.
Where were you watching from? What was your situation?
I have a spicy cough, so I'm at home. I had to watch it on the TV, which in a close win, that's even worse because you can't even vent your emotion out with the crowd. So I was just refreshing Twitter and screaming at the TV. That's how my afternoon's gone.
Oh, so you watched it from the screen. You had the commentary. What did you see in the second half? Like, what happened?
We just completely. I actually don't know what happened, and it was like I blinked and all of a sudden the game had been ripped from underneath us. I think Port came out firing in the second half and we just weren't prepared to match it. We couldn't get it out of the centre. Our defence was crumbling quite quickly. I think our defence is also, when put under a lot of pressure, somewhat concerning. But those last dying few minutes, the last 2 minutes or so, the players we needed to stand up stood up, which was good because otherwise that could have been an absolute disaster. I was preparing for a goal after the siren, Robbie Gray. It was going to be happen all over again, but lucky it didn't. But yeah, the commentary was interesting, but I'll leave that to the commentators.
Crazy. I've got to watch the game again. I've lost memory of what happened. It was all a blur. It was all calm. It was all fine.
It was fine, and then it was just not fine, and then we won somehow. I did love though when the TV would put Voss and Ken next to each other on the TV. That built a bit of tension. That was great.
Yeah, absolutely. What now?
I think we need to learn how to put teams away. I think in the past we just didn't know how to win full stop. We lost. I know we don't like going back to the dark days, but we've already doubled our 2018 wins. So let's just perspective, people, like where we've come from. We didn't know how to win. Then we didn't know how to win tight games. Then we would have completely choked. So we are steadily moving forward. I think the next step in our development is to be able to put teams away and not get ahead of ourselves and not put ourselves in the situation we put ourselves in today. Yeah,
absolutely. Kira, well said. Hope you feel better soon. And we'll see you at the footy next week, or the week after, hopefully.
The week after. Let's hope it's not a tight game next week, because with our luck, it's going to be won and lost after the siren.
Absolutely.
Go, boys.
See ya. 4-1. Yes, sorry. I got you out early there. All right. Pommy, where's he at? Where's the Pom? The Pommy's here.
Fuck, I think I'm close to retirement. I have aged about 45 years in fucking 3 weeks. What is wrong with these bastards, man?
Hey, I cannot explain to you how weirdly calm I was at halftime. Just like almost in shock. Like, wow, we're 50 points up. And just like that, the stress levels were so intense. Man, I couldn't sit down. Had to stand up that fourth quarter.
Mate, I'm with you. Like, honestly, at halftime, I was thinking of becoming like Leonardo DiCaprio and Romeo with my wife tonight. And by about 10 minutes into the third, I'm like Chris Benoit. Do you know what I mean? Like, it shifts my mental attitude. It is. Yeah, man. I mean, let's talk about the first half. First half, I've got to give... It's a real bizarre thing to analyse this side. First quarter was the first time Carlton had actually used the wing more than the corridor. And I was thinking, fucking hell, they've read the scout report. Get away from the contest, boys. I like this. And then the second quarter, he went back to his corridor. He dominated it. 50 points. I was kind of like, Jesus Christ, 50 points. Man, could be 100 points. We were taking the piss because I said Carlton were going to win by 40 and Charlie kicked 12. And we were like, I'm a prophet. And then after half-time, Voss has got to look at these stats. Negative 19 Dogs, negative 30 Hawthorn, negative 16 Gold Coast Suns, negative 47 today. Carlton's handball ratio goes from an average of 1 to 1.2 to 2 to 1. And
wow.
whether that is, I don't think that's Voss led. I'll add a caveat. I don't think that's Voss led, because watching how he likes his side to play, there's no way that he wants kicking in this side. But I've got to say, when I actually watch them play, the mental fitness and the mental toughness of these players isn't there. Carlton do the right thing. They go down the fat side of the ground. That is the only way you control pressure. All the teams do it, and they have done for 200 years. But Jesus, the problem is with this team is, case in point, Charlie Curnow caught ball watching, ended up back pocket for 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like, there's the problem. That the boys mentally are fatigued, and this game style is so hard maintenance. You remember David Teague's was high maintenance because there was no structure? Voss isn't lying when it's powerful. This is a powerful brand, and it's taking its toll, because when them tackles were missed, Carlton had more missed tackles in the third than any other quarter. You start to see it when them tackles get missed. There was that horrible crossfield switch we talked about Port do, cut us apart. It's a scary, scary thing to watch, but thankfully that's Voss's job to fix, not mine.
Yeah. The obviously it's stressful, and we're pissed off, and we should have won by more, and all of that. Obviously, as I'm walking back home, I'm thinking, with all of that being said, the main thing we can't do is lose those games. Just got to make sure we tick along, because I'm still very confident that we're going to be a better side in the last 6 to 8 rounds of the year than what we are now, by virtue of the fact that you're right. There's a new thing that they're learning, and really they are struggling to implement it for 4 quarters. And is it? Yeah, you're right. It could be mental fatigue. I think you're spot on with that. And it is only going to get better the more they do it, I feel. So having said that, 4 wins, we're a third of the way to 12, which, a third of the way to finals. And, hopefully we're looking back at these games against Hawthorn and Port, and we're saying to ourselves, lucky we didn't let those ones slip, because we should be a better side. But you can just sense we're going to be riding these emotions all year. They're going to do it to us all year. It's just the way it is.
It's not fun. It's not fun, because you see it as well. And what I mean by mental fatigue is, if anyone goes back and watches the third quarter, watch Wheater and watch Zach Williams and watch Lewis Young. The marks they were taking early and looked to go and take a intercept mark, they were running under the ball. They were missing it. They were struggling to keep up with their man. You start to see there was a bit of uncertainty creeping in. And it's horrible to see, but I'd imagine it's even harder for Mr. Voss to be in the coach's box, and there's not much he can do. I do think it's something Voss is going to have to look at, particularly the first quarter. They got away from the contest so well, which meant it was very easy for them to not be in this situation. But that being said, this team to David Teague's team is a total different team. The first 5 weeks, Carlton would have been battered. Would be 0-5, because at least this has some form of structure. He needs to iron it out. He needs to definitely iron it out, and it's going to take some time. But Jesus, these boys, they have a bit of fun, don't they, when they're playing? I mean, Gil will love this for TV revenue.
Absolutely, he will. Absolutely, he will. We've lost in a thriller to Port Adelaide in a couple of years back, and it just, obviously it's different. It's clearly different, but just the shades of the dark past just haunt you when things start going the way they were going. It's really fascinating. So I can't wait to watch your watch along back. You at halftime, feet up, hand behind your head, pouring an English breakfast.
What's fucking me off about the watch alongs is quarter time, you have the opposition fans. They all think they've got a big willy and they wave it round. Then second quarter happens and we destroy them, and Pom gives it large. And lo and behold, 5 minutes to go, I'm on death's door, and they come back. Man, they come back and they start pot-shotting me. But big shout out to one of the Port fans. His name escapes me. I think it was Greg. He stayed from start to finish. He was an absolute gentleman, and he made the watch along absolutely amazing because he was respectful. But we've talked about negatives. Walsh, spectacular. Do you know what I mean? This guy here, honestly, told you he was the best player in the league. Tell you what, he doesn't have to do much more to put the game to bed, does he? That kid is something special. And 4-1, let's smash Freo, our bunnies. They're our Cullinan and we're Shane Warne. Let's smash them and go Blues.
Good on you, mate. Love ya. Take it easy.
Love you all.
I got Liam McMillan with a cheeky $8 donation. Thank you very much, mate. I've got him again here at the 3. 4-1, baby. Big game next week. Need a big lift. Absolutely, mate. All right. I've got Paolo here in the car. Paolo Sebastiani, mate. Not happy at all at 3/4 time.
Mate, I got up out of my seat, I think halfway through third quarter. I just had to walk out. I just needed to calm down, mate. I just needed to calm down. What'd you make of it? I was losing my mind.
I could not believe the situation we had been in at halftime, because obviously up by 50. I don't remember this team doing that in a long time, or however long it's been. And then you summed it up pretty well, because I was sitting with you in the third quarter. You summed it up pretty well. Arrogant, complacent football in the third quarter.
That's what it was, mate. I don't understand why they keep reverting back to that kick game when the handball game is what has continually worked for us throughout the season. But look, I mean, credit to Port, like they come out and hunted us, and like they kept that switch, that Pommy in, and we kept talking about it. Like that's all they've got. They're going to open up the fat side and try to hit us that way. And we just Mars said, he goes, mate, we're just lairising. We're just like we're looking for our mates. Like what the hell's happening? But I don't know. I mean, it's funny that these wins feel like. Did they feel like losses? I don't know why.
No. I still feel good about the win. I do still feel.
Yeah, no, I do too. Like, yeah, you can see like I'm shaking my head but smiling at the same time. I think that's symbolic of everyone. So, yeah, look, I don't really know what to take out of these games because we haven't really. I mean, I don't think there's. Look, winning's a habit. Yeah. It's something that we haven't been able to do for God knows how long. So, and if you had said to us, and I know everyone keeps saying this, but 4-1 at the start of the year, mate, you take it in an absolute heartbeat. So, it's just nice to be on the good end of these results at the moment as well. And it was nice. We wanted to see a response early in this game after what happened last week, and there was, but I don't know. We just don't know how to put teams away yet, and I don't think I think 7 years into whatever this is, it probably should be there right now, but different coaches, different players, I think we really need to find someone to match up alongside Wiedering and really try to lock that position out, because I think he's defending too much, if that makes sense. We're losing his rebound from defensive 50, which is a real asset of his, but look, I'm a happy chap, put it that way. My heart's not. my heart's copped it. But look, 4-1. What are we now? 6th or 5th? Whatever we are at the moment. I think we're 5th.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think we did up any help today.
Yeah, with Fremantle still to play. So, but I will say there's one man who's back with a vengeance now after his ankle, and Sam Walsh was. He was phenomenal, and Charlie was. Geez, Charlie, my God, isn't he back?
I did a preview on Friday with the pair. Have a listen to what I said on Friday. I'm going to go with Carlton by 3 points in a thriller, and King Charlie just regains his throne at the MCG, kicks 5.
All right. Do you have $1 on it?
Not $1. Not $1.
Of course you did it. What's the exact margin worth? Like 20 to 1? Yeah. 30 to 1?
Not $1.
Look, you take 4-1 any day of the week, but I just don't know if there's any substance to the teams that we're beating at the moment. That's the only, and they got to iron that 6-7 goals out. They got to iron that out, because that's going to come back to bite us in the long run. So, look, it's a tick. It's a green tick. It's 4-1, and next week we're going to have a tough one against the Dockers. So we'll see what happens. But Yeah, the boys are starting to learn how to win now, aren't they? It's nice. Even though they're doing it the hard way, and they're making us tear our hair out or whatever's left of mine anyway. But it's nice to see. It's nice to see. So I'm not going to complain too much. I did all my complaining at the ground with everyone else, and look, let's just hope that they can iron out these issues and become a bit more of a. I know that it's that cliche, but a 4-quarter team it'd be nice. You know, you're not always going to have it your way, but as I said, winning is a habit, and they're starting to pile them up, which is good. So onwards and upwards.
On to Freo next week. See you on Tuesday night, 8 p.m. Jumper punch, and we'll go from there.
Yes, indeed. Enjoy. Have a good night, guys. Go Blues.
Love it. Monica.
Hi, Terry.
How's it going? Monica and brother.
Christian.
Monica.
How you doing? I thought I'd join in today.
I'm still shaking a bit, so.
It's a bit like that.
It is. It's a lot like that. And my voice is gone.
Yes. You were at the game, both of you?
Yeah.
We were there, mate. We were right behind the goals in that last quarter, our goals. And it was honestly horrible to watch in a way.
Yeah. As good as they can be, which is really good, they can also be just as flat, right?
I'll say it. I reckon the side that we see in that first half, and that goes for most of these games that we've played this season, is a premiership side, or at least a final side. That's definite. But I don't know what happens in that halftime interval. I don't know what it is. I don't think it is arrogance. I think that the players seem to trust each other a lot more, and so when one of them sees another on the ball, they think, oh, he'll be right. He doesn't need my help. And then we lose a lot of support. We lose a lot of structure. And then that's when we just get torn apart.
Yeah. Monica, what happened?
I feel like sometimes we don't know how to handle ourselves under pressure and we just freak out too much. And that's where we lose games. And also when we get massive leads like we did today and like we did in the Hawthorn game, by the time third quarter comes and they get their catch up and it's, 2-3 goals difference, something happens with the umpiring. And I don't know, the way that we lose the lead when the umpires come on our back, we can't do anything because we've lost the lead.
They don't help. They definitely don't.
Yeah, it gets too tricky, and it's no excuse, obviously, but that's on us if we lose the game because we lost the lead.
Yeah.
And I don't know how it happens or why it happens, but it happens too much.
Yeah. My guess of today, and I don't know any more than anyone else, but my sense of today was that I'm trying to think the last time this group since the rebuild began has been up by 50 points at halftime or really at any stage of any game, maybe a couple against the Dogs at certain years. So I'm thinking they just don't know they've never been there. They don't know how to go from, all right, boys, we've beaten them. We're pretty much better than them all day. And how they go from that to managing the win and making sure that they can turn it into a 60-point, 70-point win. That's the next step. Obviously, we've come from dysfunctional, disorganized, David Teague coached football last year. We're now a little more organized, a little more connected, still inconsistent. And now we're just sort of scraping over for some wins, which, I don't know, would you take 12 scrappy wins and make finals?
Yeah, but we wouldn't be a threat in the finals.
Well, that's the thing.
I see us as a threatening team.
Mm.
I think teams go into games versing us thinking that it's always a possibility to win against us, which is the same with any game that you watch. But I think especially with Carlton, that other teams come in thinking it could go either way.
Yeah.
And that's a scary thought.
The worst part is that I reckon you can't really pinpoint any players in particular. Like there might be one or two, and I couldn't even think of any now. Even I'm going to say Zach Williams, maybe. He played great in the first half, and I love him as a player, but I think he does drop off under pressure, and he doesn't actually get into the contest much. But honestly, it's a team thing. It's a team flaw. No
Yeah.
players in particular.
Well, that's the thing. It required someone or a group of them to step up and just stand up and get the game back on our terms. And in the end, we relied on some brilliance from individuals like Charlie and Harry at times as well. But guys, we're fucking 4-1. Come on.
Harry needs to learn how to drop home.
Yes, we're gonna work on it. But
Well, we'll get there.
hey, appreciate you guys making your fan cam debut. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Go Blues.
Go
Blues. See you later. Oh, there, Michael.
There, Terry! Mate, these fucking fan cams tonight are like a fucking nursing home. What's wrong with all you blokes? Fucking hell, man. It's not fucking 5:30 dinner at the Arcadia wing. Calm down, a lot of you. Okay, we're 4-1. Never in doubt. Never in doubt, baby. Never in doubt. Yeah.
Never in doubt. So,
Never in doubt.
3/4 time, we're sitting together
Never
for
in
the third quarter. I can't stand.
you're
I
right.
cannot sit down. I could not sit down in the fourth quarter. Then I see you, as soon as they kicked the goal and put him within a goal, I see you storming up and standing next to me. Oh,
Fuck! I walk into the function room and the girl goes to me, "Don't swear." I'm like, "They just blew 50 points." It's all right. It's all good. Just goose rubber. Goose rubber. Look, our best will beat any team in the competition. I'll tell you that right now. Our best wins every game, every week. Our worst, we can't beat a Sandful team.
yeah.
And that's unfortunately that's the stage in our football club's period that we're at the moment. We're just not right there at the moment. But I'd rather be 4-1 not there than be 1-4 and there. And I think a lot of people got to take some positive, because last year we were losing. In 2020, we were losing a lot of these games. You know, the COVID year, we were scrapping around and losing by 3 to 4 points, a couple goals here and there. And we were on the end of this and we were copping shit. Be happy. Okay,
Literally
we're 4-1.
the last time we played Port Adelaide, we had David Teague with his trail mix, not even picking up the phone to make a change. Like,
Pick up the phone today.
pick up the phone there.
I was ready to throw my phone at someone tonight.
You've said something there that I want to touch on, and I like it. It's the difference between our best and our worst. But we're seeing the inconsistencies in the team, and we're still winning. So, are you positive that we're winning in these games, knowing we're going to get better, hopefully, or are you thinking it's a red flag?
You know, I'm not at the red flag stage at the moment. To be completely honest, I actually don't think that this is still our best 22, and I still don't think we know how to play as a team yet. I think we're definitely not the finished product yet. I think there's obviously some key clogs in that team. You know, Oscar McDonald and McGovern out of that team. Obviously, Cripps out. So those are really big outs in regards to certainly our rebound off the half back line with McGovern and Oscar. I think Paul said it, touched on it earlier with Wiedering being freed up and being able to play that rebound game. He can't do that without McDonald and McGovern playing in the team, I'll tell you that. So I think we're going to be a better team come round 16, 18, 20, around then, if we're still in the hunt. But if these things here continue to happen, unfortunately, you know, you're gonna slip some of these games. These things here, you can't be doing them every single week. You can't be 50 points up and hope to be winning by 3 every week.
There's only so many times you get let out of jail.
100%. But like, look, our midfield obviously is A-class at the moment. Look, they are standing up when we need them to stand up. I do think that they fade out a little bit in patches, but that's every team has that. I think there are some areas that we need to really work on. I think that wing position is something that we really need to work on still. I don't know if it's Nunes. I don't know if it's O'Brien or Cottrell. I think that's probably our position. We lost you there. There we go.
Yeah, I'm here.
I think it's still that position. The wing position is probably still a position where we need to find someone. We've got a couple of enigmas in our team, I feel, like your Jack Martins, your Owies. I feel like they can do anything on their day, but then they go floating around. But you know what? We're 4-1, never in doubt.
I like it. Freo next week.
Yeah. Heading over tomorrow.
You're heading over tomorrow for a week in Fremantle, and hopefully, mate, it's going to be another thriller next week. I hope you're ready for it.
I don't know if I am. You were with me today. I don't think I was ready for it. I think at 50 points up, I was drinking I definitely was drinking the Kool-Aid, to be fair, ladies and gentlemen. But
Can confirm.
can confirm. Terry did tell me to put the call down a few times, but yeah.
We will
Terry
not
knows
talk
what
about.
we're talking about. We
We
won't
will
talk
not
about
talk about
that.
that conversation.
Well,
Mikali,
you know what? Enjoy it. Happy Easter, Bona Pasqua. Christos Anesti to all you, whoever the fuck we are. And we cut out again. Have a good happy Easter.
thank you, brother. You have a good one.
You there?
Yeah.
Take care. Ciao.
See ya. Ciao. Love it. Mark, straight in.
Oh, by the way, good to see you, Maloney, for a bit of a wave before and after the game, and Mr. Corporate himself just getting the job done. How are you, Terry?
I'm 4-1, baby. That's how I am. I'm 4-1.
I mean,
These are games
as-
that games that we lose last year for sure.
As you can see, I've got this MA rated version, but I'm going to have this in two parts. One, I'll start off with: would every single member supporter that we have in this world take 4-1 after 5 rounds?
Yes.
You would. Although probably going into the year itself, we probably didn't think Port Adelaide would be a game that we would win, but we did, especially whilst they are psychologically at their worst spot at the moment, but still that we're not at a stage of really killing teams off. You know, today I was really wanting some serious blood, but I feel like we're pumping and generating blood to a dead body and soul that's almost trying to come to life. Today should have been the day of the crucifixion to Ken Hinkley, in our view, but of course I don't think it's really going to happen anyways. But like, it's an opportunity to really, damper this side. This is the first time we've beaten them in 6 years, which was obviously Simo's and Jamison's milestone games, 250 and 150th, which obviously that was close too. It's a real opportunity that we have blown away. But fuck me dead, like, I'm not satisfied. I've got to be honest to everyone watching. I'm not satisfied. Yeah, we won, but I'm not satisfied, because if we want to be a great team, we need to seriously put these teams to the sword. And Freo next week, I mean, I don't want to cut the right hand after what happened in 2020 with that winning goal after the siren from Nunes. But I'll tell you, like, when it got within 4 goals and 3 goals today, yeah, I was very, very animated. Hawthorn, funny enough, I was very calm, because I'm like, they're not going to be really much of a side. And yeah, we had a big lead and today, but Port Adelaide still is more of a better team in that department. But just, again, they're just at their weakest at the moment and just out of form. And again, they always were going to find a bit of a way once they got on top of us. But yeah, look, you can't have 2 different teams out there. For the first half, we look like millionaires, and then let alone playing like Tarzans, and then the second half we play like Jane and Cinderella, having a glass slipper fall out of our boot. We can't have that. We can't have that. I actually saw a few more paramedics just outside the ground for a few more cardiac arrests, whether that's true or not. But the point is, you can't be doing this to the club. Just can't be doing this to us. And don't worry about just going to the cheer squad after the game. Go to all around the ground and thank the supporters, because we're all there, not just the cheer squad. It's all the supporters around the ground. But we're 4-1. We're 4-1, but still so much work to do.
We're a third of the way to finals. We are 1/3 of the way there. And that's just kind of how I'm taking it. I'd rather have a heartbreaker, heart stopper in a win than a heartbreaker and a constant heart stopper in a loss. Winning is just better in all realities. Now, obviously, we need to learn how to make that a lot easier on ourselves. But, finals pressure is going to come at some point for this group, whether it's this year or whenever it is. And these situations are hopefully going to pay us back in a funny way.
Of course. I mean, you saw with the results on the weekend where they'll pretty much expected, although Adelaide beating Richmond was probably been unexpected. And really that opened the door for us to get that 2-game buffer on Collingwood, Richmond, the Bulldogs, Gold Coast, Adelaide. And you'd expect Hawthorn, unless, they pull off, a surprise against Geelong tomorrow. So you're really looking from 8th to 13th. We'll have a 2-game gap. I know the percentage is not the best at the moment, but it's not going to really matter if it gets to a stage where we have the 12, 13 wins and we finally sew up finals for the first time in 9 years, near a decade. So,
yeah.
But yeah, no, it was a big relief, but still not satisfied. So again, we can be good, but we're not great yet.
Correct.
We're not great yet.
Yeah, well said. Thanks, Mark. Have a good Easter, bro.
Thank you. Happy Easter to everyone. Bona Pasqua. Christos Anithis. All round. All round. Go Blues.
See you, mate. What a star. Wayne, with a $20 donation. Thank you, mate. That Harry Shank was awful. It was a disaster, that Harry Shank. I'm going to free up some room in the studio here. I'm just going to move Mark out of there. Got one more spot free. There's 11 people waiting. I got Ari, wait 1 sec. Let me get James. James, are you here from Scotland?
Yeah. How you doing?
The great Scott, the good luck charm.
Tell you. See that? I was stressing. See, like sweating. Like I was watching the live stream of Pommy, and it was unreal. Unreal.
What? I mean, the way I saw it, it was an energy dip. What did you see?
First half was brilliant. Like the way they were playing was brilliant. Then that second part, I think it was energy, but they're almost, I don't know if they're coming out thinking, right, if we get as many as possible and then really push them back. So if anything, when they do come out in their second half, at least we've got a big margin between the two. So at least then we've got that like safety blanket there, just in case they do come back. That's how I felt, kind of looking back at it. But then even with Voss saying learn winning is better than learning losing, then that's I agree with that. Like last week when we were watching, we were all saying we need to see how they come back after this. We need to see how they're going to come back from that loss. And we've seen that. Like there's a lot that can be learned. You're looking at the first half and going, right, this is the stuff that's working. Second half, this is the stuff we need to work on. I don't know if you do you feel like that or?
Yeah, I do. I accept where we are at, and I know that we're not a great team yet. I know that we've got potential to be a great team, and I'm really looking forward to the time in my life when this team starts putting those games away. I think where my relief, I know it's a really weird term to use on a day like today, but where my relief comes from is that it's just better than last year, which was one of the worst years of my whole life supporting the club.
If you look at the differences as well, like if you were to look at the differences between 1 year, like you've taken a completely different kind of managerial team and completely changed that. So if we've got one loss out of 5 games, opposed to 4 losses and 1 win, you'd be questioning how much can you better this side that they're winning. So and that was a big game for Voss as well. Obviously coming away from that, like that was a big kind of the finger up. This is what I can do, kind of thing. But when I'm put in that position of being the head, this is what I can do. So big finger up there, yeah.
Yeah, no, well said, mate. What time is it in Scotland right now?
8:40. So quite early. I was up at 4, but no, it was good. 2 coffees in, so we're fine. We're doing it. Some of the players, though, honestly, like Jack Martin, he redeemed himself. First half, he redeemed himself. Like last week, we were sitting there thinking, like, this guy's got to go. But that first half, he redeemed himself. And I think he knew that. I think he felt like he had to redeem himself. Obviously, Cripps was out. So that was interesting to see how they're going to play without their captain. Obviously, I like the guy, but I was interested to see how they were going to play without him. And they were playing really well. And I think they were speaking to him at half time, I think. And he looked quite relaxed, like quite happy with how everyone was playing. So that was really good. So it shows that, yes, he's a team player, but there is a team there that is able to play on their own as well. Who else was good? Fisher was good. I thought Fisher was really good. Taking TDK out and with Petal in was, you could see the differences. Like there was contest there. So you couldn't fault the guy for it. It was fast. This is obviously speaking for the first half, but fast and great play. Sad everything that guy plays is a machine. Like, he just goes for it. And I don't think he doesn't really stop and think, is this going to be a tackle that's going to put, like, us under? He just goes for it. Like, he's like, fuck it, like, we'll find out what happens. And I like that. I think that's a good way to play. Yeah, no, it was really good. Is it Cottrell? His tackle in the third quarter, his was good. Like, that really changed it. Like, it was just a really good game. I was really glad that Corey Durden was back in. I really like him. So I was quite glad that he was back in. But yeah, I'm really glad. I think it's good. I think it's good to see them doing well. Sitting fit. So that's really good. Could be worse. Could be a hell of a lot worse.
Very well said. Thank you so much for tuning in.
No worries. Thanks. See you later.
Yeah, mate. Got a few cheeky donos here. Peter V. Bluebagger with the 5 says, at Carlton, we're hot and we're cold. Glass half full. Imagine the full package. Relieved. I like that. Wayne with another 10 says, from Malcolm, I lost 2 years of my life watching today. They owe us a 100-point win along the line somewhere. Still waiting for that premiership quarter. Yes, very well said. All righty. Ari, you are here.
I am here.
How's your heart?
Oh, I told you, I can't take it. But I don't know what anyone's stressing about. That was a 4-quarter solid win, never in doubt. Like, were you stressed at any stage? I wasn't. I was completely calm.
You know, it was too good to be true at halftime. Honestly, at halftime, I was like, no, we can't be this good this early in the year. Surely, we're just not. Like, I actually didn't believe it. I was so cool, calm, and collected. And even when they got within, 20 points, I'm like, yeah, we're just mucking around with them. And then they got within a goal, and then that was it. And then I think Harry Shank just sent me off, and I was just filthy.
Yeah. I mean, at halftime, I literally had everything other than the game on my mind. Like, I got on my set, to walk around, stretch my legs. I was just like, yeah, we'll win. Whether it be 6 goals, 10 goals, 11 goals, or 4 goals, whatever, we'll win comfortably, right?
Yeah.
And then they kept kicking them. They kept pegging us back, and I was like, okay. And then Charlie kicked one in the third. I thought, all right, there's the goal we get, and then we'll kick on from there. And then it was just, again, everything nothing went right. And then Charlie, again in the last, saved us. So I think we are relying on individual brilliance to get us over the line in too many games, I feel.
Yeah. I'm going to ask pretty much everyone that comes on tonight, what happened in the second half? Is it mental? Is it energy? Is it the game plan getting figured out? What do you think it was?
I think Paolo's tweet was spot on. It was arrogant. It was complacent in the third quarter, and I said this. I can't remember who I said it to, but it happened once against the Hawks. This comeback, you give the team and the coaching staff the benefit of the doubt because it happens, right? Not every team sees our 4 quarters every game, but it's happened again in pretty much the same circumstance.
Yeah.
So there's a theme that's apparent, and action needs to be taken. So I feel like as a group, and I wrote this in my preview, we're motivated by fear of losing. So whenever we get ahead, we feel we take the foot off the gas because we're winning. We're up by 10 goals. There's no fear anymore. Whereas once they start coming back, once there's that anxious energy in the crowd again, that's when we start to play well. And I think not play well, but we start to fix things up. And I think we did this as well today. We did it in the Hawks game as well. When they got within a goal, we just kept playing the way we kept. We didn't hurry, and we kind of killed the game a little bit. We sucked all the energy out of it, and then just kept going and going. And then we just needed that one moment. And then when Charlie Kerno's forward, it's pretty easy to get that moment, I think.
It was King Charlie. You like sending me clips of my previews in retrospect. I hope you send me one this week, mate.
Well, you've already put it out now, so I can't.
You like that? No, you can send it to me anyway.
I will after this. Yeah, yeah, fuck. I don't know. There's nothing much to say because we've won, but I think the universal feeling is that we're disappointed in terms of But it's weird. Like we're 4-1, but we play a half of footy every game.
Yeah.
Imagine when we start playing 3 quarters, 3.5 quarters of footy.
Yeah. Well, this is exactly what we would have said yes to last year at the end when it was a disaster. We would have said, all right, you know what? We're going to give you 4-1, but you're going to play inconsistent football and you're going to scrape over the line in 3 of those wins.
Yeah.
And here we are. To be honest, I'm grateful just to be talking about wins. Yeah, they're annoying. Yeah, the heart doesn't need what we had today. Yeah, agreed. But we're just in the hunt, like we're there. You know, we're just figuring it out. We're not irrelevant, if that makes sense. So I'm disappointed at aspects, but overall, I'm grateful to be talking the way we're talking.
100%. And I mean,
You know?
with this at the with the Hawks game, this time last year we lose that game comfortably. We lose that game, so it's good that we actually can stem the flow to an extent. I know, obviously, I think they kicked 8 out of like 9, but stem the flow. And also, just one quickly to finish it off.
Yes.
I feel we don't know the game plan yet. Like we know it, but we don't subconsciously know it. That's why when the pressure's on, we go back to that David Teague, kick long, hurried kicks. Like, we're not playing the way that we played in the first half because this game plan isn't instilled in us just yet. Which, I mean, we're 5 games in. You can't expect it to be, right? But I feel like if this game happened in round 16, round 17, you'd see a much different Carlton in that second half because by then the game plan is instilled. We know what to do in these scenarios and we would have learned. So I think that's the one thing we've got to learn from this.
Ari, well said, as always, my friend. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me. Go Blues.
Go Blues. All right. We have got a gentleman who is another Blue Abroad about to come on, calling in from Arizona.
Hey, it's Harry. How's it going?
Adam, my man, welcome to Carlton winning football.
I'm going to drop dead at 30, mate, with high blood pressure. We're 4-1, but there's no way that's sustainable. That second half, that's unexcusable, really. I can't see us doing this every round. We can't. It just can't happen again. Honestly.
We've managed to fall on the right side of the result, having been inconsistent. I think.
Right.
I fear that we're going to have a bad, devastating loss after giving up a big lead, which will really turn the screw. I mean, I hope it doesn't happen. Touch wood, but I fear that we're playing with our luck.
Right. At some point, like, this team is really good when they're good. Like when we're on it, when we want the ball, we're a great football team to watch. It's fun. The handballs are great. We work the ball well. We score a lot of goals. What was it? 7 goals in the first, 5 in the second.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not a problem of if we can do it. It's just maintaining our consistency and doing it for 4 quarters. It's just it was really weird because we were up almost 50 at half, and then we come out and I don't know if it's just me or not, but we looked more cooked fitness wise going into the second, going back out than we did going in, and I was like, what's going on here? It's just can't do it again. Cannot do it again.
We will be doing it again. That's the only thing I'm pretty confident about. Like, it's going to happen again. We're going to be having heart stoppers. I feel like this is a year where it's early days. It's only 5 games, but I sense the narrative of 2022 being learning how to win. And with learning how to win comes heart attacks and stress, which again, do I want it? No. But do I want wins? Yes. So if this is part of the process, then this is part of the process.
Right. And I don't know if it's just me or not, but I feel like this team can still play another level. Like there's definitely something more there that we can go further. And, it's baby steps right now, but I think that next level is really, learning to put the foot on the accelerator and starting to kill off these teams. We cannot keep these teams in these games.
Yeah, it's true. It's true. What time is it on your end of the world?
It is 12:50 in the morning.
You're psychotic. I love it.
Mate, I'm gonna be here next week too. Frio is a massive game because they play right now against Essendon. If they win tonight, they'll go back above us on the ladder. So next week is going to be so huge, and that's what I'm really looking forward to. It's a top 8 clash, and that's really, the games that we need for these players to experience is these big boy games.
Yeah, I like it. Well said, mate. You have a great morning, evening, and we'll chat to you next week.
Carlton juice.
You know it, baby. See you, mate.
Bro.
What a star. Ugur, it's becoming a weekly theme. $80 donation. Thank you very much, mate. Prince Charles and Prince Harry, 8 goals. Absolutely. Love to see it. Thank you, sir. Okay. Who is next? I have got Matt. I've got 2 guys, but under the name Matt. Hello.
Terry. Hey, Terry. How you going, mate?
Bit of a heart attack, bit of stress, but I'm starting to cool off and realize that we're 4-1.
Yeah. It's a great feeling, mate. Look, awesome. But I think, we're not where we want to be, are we? But
I think my immediate afterthought as soon as that siren went was no one deserved to win that game. Like we had an absolute ripper half, and then just fell to shit in the last half.
Should have been a draw.
Could have been, yeah. I would have been happy with a draw.
Probably should have been.
Like you've said all year, like we'll bank the points. Like anything can happen throughout the year. COVID, injuries. Like if you said we're going to be 4-1 at the start of the year, everyone said it. Like, we'll take it. We're 5 games into Boss's system. Like it's a new game plan, completely different from Teague's. So I don't know.
Yeah.
But
I mean, as long as we keep getting better from here, like we're getting a little bit lucky in the early parts of the season. I mean, you can say we're getting lucky, but I believe you make your luck. And I think we get ahead so far, which allows us to get lucky in the end because we start games pretty well, generally. I just hope that we do get better at the end of the year and we look back at these games and say, yeah, but they were just learning how to do what they can do now. So I guess the story hasn't been written yet of the rest of the year. But are you still up? Are you optimistic? I know it's stressful, but like, are you optimistic that we're on the right track?
Oh, definitely. Jono asked me during the game, like, do I think we've improved? And I was like, definitely. And like a few of the other guys on here today have said, like, we lose those games last year and previous years.
Definitely.
I'm like, we're winning these games now. Like, for sure, they're not great to go through for our heart and just sanity, but we're winning them now. Like, sure, it's not great to drop a 50-point lead down to 3, and we got Mr. Mac Terry over here calling bloody a 3-point win with Prince Charles. I watched your preview. Yeah,
wow.
Terry called it.
Not bad.
But had you said we're up by 50 points, that
Like,
how does that?
I never saw the game going the way it did in the sense of us being ahead by so much. I literally thought it would be a nail biter from start to finish. Port Adelaide would just come out hungry, desperate for their first win. I did not see us being up by that much. But when we did get up by that much, I'm thinking, well, all right, well, this will be at least a 4-goal win. We might taper off a bit, but we're getting there, I think. I hope.
We're getting there. I think Jono talked about it before. One of his mates from work said, like, when we're on, we're like the best team in the comp. Yeah. I reckon we're the most exciting team to watch as well. When we're flying, like we are in the first halves, like we are. Yeah. Seriously, I don't get that excited.
The stars, when they get going, Walshy, Mackay, it's just great footy to watch, I reckon, when it's up and going.
Start surging. The handball change just looks so pretty,
Yeah. And I'd love to get your thoughts on this, Terry. So for the game, we'll just out taking my dogs for a walk and having a kick, and then we're talking about Mackay. I'm very much a believer of if it's not broke, don't fix it. But I'd love to know your thoughts with his snaps. So like, I think a couple of weeks ago, he took a snap directly in front, slots it, and that's great. Like, we want the goals. But as you saw, and you said earlier, it pissed you off, he absolutely had that terrible shank where he punted it, and he just...
Rocco said it. Rocco, he said it's going to hurt. And we saw it today. He had one.
Is he too dependent on that snap? And then what's going to happen when like he's a bit far out for a snap, or if the footy's a bit wet, or this and that? Like, I don't know. I love Mackay, but I get worried as well though when he has to drop punt. That he's not.
I'm team snap, team Harry. And I actually think what's happening is the game's evolving, and kind of like, in the Gaelic football, when they take their spot kicks, they have a bit of an arc. I actually think we're moving slowly year by year into a point where that will become the regular set shot, and the rules will change to allow for that arc without going completely over the mark. Now, but for the time being, right now, it's not the rule. So if we get a kick after the siren and it's Harry, he needs to go back and take the set shot. It could be an issue, but for me, he kicks it at a good percentage. I know that when it doesn't come off, it looks bad, but the reality is the percentages are good when he does do it. Overall, I think it's above 60 or 70%. I need to check that. I don't want to just say anything as a guess, but I'm pretty sure it's pretty accurate by number. And he's comfortable with it. I was actually more comfortable with that second set shot that he took when he did go around the body, even though it was directly in front. We won't miss this. So I don't know, but I understand the frustration. I do get it.
Yeah. And Jono's got one point he would like to bring up about Sauce, J-Sauce.
Oh, yeah. I just think Jack just proved today he's our best option as the second ruck.
Yeah, he finds a way to just dig deep all the time.
Yeah, I love it. And when it hits the ground, he's tackling, he's pressuring, and he's good at ground level to feed a handball out, and he's a great option. I think, like De Koning, I love him, but I'm sorry, mate. Like, it's going to be tough to find a spot for him, I think.
Love it. Standards, mate. I like it. Standards. They're lifting.
That's interesting. Yeah. All right.
Lads, thank you very much for tuning in.
Appreciate it. Tez. Up the baggers for him one.
Thanks, mate. All right. Carlos.
Tez, how you doing?
Mate, I'm good. Winning is always better than losing.
Absolutely. Yeah. I was sitting in my chair with about 30 seconds to go, and the guy to my right actually told me to breathe because I hadn't breathed for about 30 seconds. Mate, you talk about last year and you talk about some disappointing results, and there were a lot of them. And there were opportunities where we could have gone into those games and won. But I think this year we're finding ways to win. And yes, it's not, it doesn't look great losing a 50-point lead and cutting it down to 3 points. Doesn't look good. But you're still finding that way. And at the end of the year, it still counts. And I'd much rather, as someone said, I'd much rather, lose the idea of that wasn't a classy finish to a game, but I'd much rather have the 4 points at the end of the day. Yeah. I just wanted to talk about Pitternet for a second.
Yeah. He's
so influential, and he really, really is the engine room for our midfield. And I feel like he's underrated. And you just saw last week when Witts just dominated De Koning. He just gets the job done.
I think the last 2 weeks or 7 days, if you include basically the last two games, the stretch of not having him and having him, I think today was the day a lot of people realized what he does do for the team in terms of providing grunt contest work. Yes, he's not a superstar. And I think sometimes we can get caught into this trap of, if he's not a star, he's not good enough. I just think he's a job doer. I think he's a competitive beast. And, he also did have some inconsistencies today because obviously that's that third quarter, we just couldn't win a center clearance. We couldn't win it out of the middle. But definitely came away from today saying, all right, Mark Pitternet got his respect today.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Another one is Owies. I'm just a bit worried because he doesn't have the scoreboard influence that, say, Durden has. But at the end of the day, he still has 5 tackles. So do you got to balance it out? Do you want the result in goals, or do you want the forward pressure of 5 tackles? What do you think?
I sense that the goals are on Harry and Charlie, and the pressure is on Durden and Owies, and the hope that they can kick 1 or 2 each. I look at the two of them as more influential with their pressure, which doesn't look pretty on the stat sheet because it looks, 6 touches, 5 tackles, and no score. Would love Owies to get on the board, but I thought he did a bit of good work around the ground as well. It's very early. Got to watch it again and really take the emotion out. But yeah, I mean, ultimately, you definitely want him hitting the scoreboard at least once in a game.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and I don't know how the twos went. I think they lost anyway. But
yeah, it was a really good
you
game.
just gotta think that, you know, if Motlop keeps on putting his hand up, you just got to start thinking and asking the question, well, does he come in for someone like an Owies?
I don't think he played today. I could be wrong. Someone correct me. Did Jesse Motlop play today? Because he's coming off the health and safety protocols last week, so I assume that's going to probably put him back a bit. But Honey's going to be back soon.
Yeah, I saw him walking around. Yeah, I saw him walking around with Cunners. Yeah.
Yeah. So
He
look,
looks fit.
we've got some guys to come back over the next month, which I'm excited about.
Absolutely, yeah. And McGovern, looking forward to getting him back.
Yeah, we need him. Definitely need him.
Kicking, yeah.
Yeah. So, mate, Carlos, I believe this is your first fan cam.
It is. I've been watching for a very long time, but just thought I'd jump in and say hello.
No, love it, mate. Thanks for tuning in.
Nah, cheers, Des. Good on you.
See you, mate. All right. Lucas.
Mate,
what's happening?
Oh well, from Adelaide, and yeah, I was at a bar with my dad watching the game, and when it was 50 points, like my dad was like getting a bit rowdy, and then my brother goes, "Settle down," like, and then like, mate, if it was the opposite end, like we'd be copying it because we've been copying it for so long. But we held on. I had a heart attack at the end, man. Far out.
The siren went, and yeah, it's joyful when you're screaming and shouting, but it was the biggest sigh of relief just collectively around the ground that I'd remember. Well, since Hawthorn, because that was the same. Just a sigh of relief, you know?
Yeah. No, yeah, definitely relief. Got up, big fist pump to the air. We move, like Voss said a couple weeks ago. It's better to learn with 4 points in the bag than nothing, you know? So we do move on to Freo next week, which Optus Stadium, interstate, yeah, very tough game. That is.
Yeah, for sure. Are you confident?
I love going into games with a good record against the teams like the Bulldogs. So I am confident. That we get it done.
Yeah, love it. Love your work, mate. Thanks for tuning in.
Ciao.
Jad.
Mate.
You're for a walk, have you?
I just got off the train. I wasn't going to come on, but I just thought, fuck, no, I got to express myself. I'm dying here. Mate.
The floor is yours.
It just sucks that you can't be happy when you're 50 points up. Like you just can't. Like you know, we all feel the same. We knew it was going to come, and it's just really, mate, it's just really annoying. It's really fucking annoying. And
you know what?
When that's, yeah,
you make a good point. Are we really not able to be calm up 50? Is that really where we're at? We can't be calm and relieved and confident even when we're up 50?
It's going to be a long season, brother.
Yes.
My God. Just so I'm on the train, right? And I'm just trying to figure it out. Why does this happen? Like this mental fragility. And like, I don't know the answers, but the only thing that I can really think of is I actually think that in their heads, in their method, their game plan method, let's look at it as chapters, right? Start well, tackle, goal, pressure, right? But then I think there is a chapter there that says the other team is going to come at us, and all we have to do is negate it. And I just don't think that's probably the right mentality. Because if they're playing a game and in the back of their mind they're thinking they're going to come at some point, they're going to come hard, they're going to turn it on. I don't think that's healthy, and I don't know if that's the case, but I'm starting to think it is, because this is the second time in what, 3 weeks the exact same game has happened, and I just think that they're maybe too busy worrying about the opposition coming than they are about just continuing with our style. They shouldn't care about the opposition. Like, you got to respect them, yeah, but don't have this thing in the back of your mind where, oh, they're going to come at some stage. They're going to come. And the reason why I started thinking that is because I saw the Carlton Twitter page at 3/4 times. The caption was, Port have made their move. And I just wonder if that's symptomatic that they're waiting for it to happen. They're waiting for the team to finally make their move.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Maybe it's a long bow to string, but just trying to figure it out, man. I think they're waiting too much for it. I think they expect it, and I just think a team like Melbourne is not waiting for you.
Yeah.
They're going. They're not waiting for you to make their move. So, what do you think about that?
I think we hunted in the first half, and then I think we were hunted in the second half. And I think when we are the ones being hunted, I think we can struggle and have our shortcomings. But when we have a mentality of, nah, we're here to kill, that's where you see us at our best. And mental. I just made the comment in the third quarter that our energy was nowhere near the way it was in the first half, and we were just not first to the ball. And, listen, Port Adelaide probably got a rocket at halftime. They're 0-4, down 50 at halftime. Give them some credit. Of course, they're a proud, great club, historical club. So, of course, they're going to come back. But that, there's no doubting that, in 2 months from now, we can't be having these same conversations. We need to be just putting it away. And it's tough because as soon as you go into management mode, all of a sudden you're not in the same mentality that you were at the start of the game when it was hunt to kill mode. So I think we're just figuring it out. That's what I think.
Yeah. Well, who knows, to be honest. But I do think that they're waiting for the opposition to make their move. I really do.
Yeah.
Because it's been such an issue in the past, and you can't blame them for thinking like that because it's happened so many times over the last 2 years. So maybe the next step is putting that out of your mind. Except, yeah, they're going to come, but we're not going to change everything for their momentum. We're going to play our way, and we're just going to grind and grind. I really think they expect it too much. I think it plays on some of their minds.
I think
really do.
I think we expect it too much, and we haven't earned it yet. That's what I think.
Yeah, it could be that.
I think this is just part of the process because at least last year it was like, what's going on? Like, we're not moving forward. Whereas this year, yeah, it's a struggle, but at least you can say, well, we're learning and winning and learning and falling over the line and learning. And that's where I take comfort. I take comfort in the fact that we're winning games as opposed to and looking like we're doing something that looks good, even though we have the inconsistency. So I think, mate, that the story will write itself over the next couple of weeks, and we're going to find out by the end of the year exactly what it all means.
Look, I 100% agree. I truly believe this is our journey. This is the right trajectory.
Yeah.
That was never going to just be overnight for us. No chance. I think we've got levels to go to. That's what's pleasing because we're winning games at the moment, playing 2 quarters.
Yeah.
1.5 quarters. So I'm taking positives out of that instead of the negative. Yeah, mate. Yeah.
Love it, mate. Love it. I'm going to let you go. I've got plenty of people waiting, but thanks for tuning in.
Get to it, man. Have a good one.
See you, bro. Joe Adamo.
What sort of fucking reality do we live in, man? What do we go through week to week? Oh my god. I'll say this. All right. At the end of the day, you take your learnings ugly rather than honorably. All right. I saw the Collingwood coach, Craig McRae, after they lost to whoever it was. I can't remember. I don't really give a shit about Collingwood, but I saw But I saw a quote from him in his post game saying, yeah, it's fine to to lose honorably, but if you lose honorably 22 times in a year, you don't win a game. And it's true. It's true. Give me 22 ugly wins in a year. Yeah, I'll be stressed. Probably die in my 30s. But we would have won 22 games. So you got to keep it in perspective. Here's the other bit of perspective as well. We've won half of our games versus last year already, 5 rounds in.
Wow. True.
I think as Carlton supporters, because we're so scarred, because we're waiting for it to all click and we see everything, the Melbourne product, and it's like, we know what we're going to get every week. When it falls apart, regardless of the result, we're unhappy. We're always unhappy. Be happy. We're 4-1, man. Like, come on, we're 4-1, man. That's half of the wins that we had last year. It's more than half of the wins that we had the year prior. Be happy. Be happy, supporters, that your club is finally winning. We're winning games. Judd said it himself. We have played over the last 12 quarters of football, 4 quarters, and we're 2-1 from it.
Yeah.
In the last 3 weeks.
Correct.
Be happy. Be happy that there's still growth, but we're winning. Like, 100%. Keep the perspective, guys. You got to keep the perspective of it's better to see win. We're on 16 points, 5 rounds in. 16. It's ridiculous. If anyone had have said pre-season you'll be 4-1 after 5 rounds, I would have laughed. I think anyone would have laughed and would have gone, I'll be happy with that, regardless of how we get it. But all of a sudden we're here now and people want to complain. Forget about blowing the 50-point lead. I couldn't give a shit. We've done that for the better part of the last 7 years and we've lost games by 4 goals. We're winning games of football.
Mate, you know, I think before you get to dominating week in, week out the way Melbourne are, you have to win ugly. We haven't even, this is just next step. Last year and the year before, we were embarrassing. We were disgraceful at times. So we're just a step ahead of that, you know, and this is part of it. And I do fear that we're going to lose one of these games, and I hope that we don't jump off, because I think
we will.
Yeah.
I'll say it now. Be prepared to lose games of football. That we are going to lose games of football that we should win, but we're going to win games that we shouldn't. It will even itself out. We will be a 10 to 13 win side, or a 12 to 14 win side, whatever you want to call us. That's how we're going to get there. We're not. I butted heads with Jules today, right? Because he's going, it should be an 80-point win from here. And I'm going, no, I just want to see us hold the lead first. And we still couldn't do it. We're just not there. There's steps that we've got to tick off as a football club because of how much shit we've been through. These players, and it's players now. You can't blame these lapses on the coaching staff. It's a completely new coaching staff. It's the players, and I don't blame them. They've got a mindset where they've been in that position so many times they don't know what to do when they're that far up. They don't know how to find another gear to go on with it yet. They're fearing for their lives, like Judd said, knowing that these teams are going to come at them and we break. But we're breaking now, not to a point where we're losing games. We're breaking and holding on. These are good wins, man. These are good wins. I'm not looking at these wins as negatives. You just can't. You can't look at any win as a negative. If you get over the line in a game of football where we've come from a mentality where results don't matter and wins and losses don't matter, you need to be happy as a supporter, as a player, as a coach, whoever you are involved in this football club. You've got to be happy.
Yeah, I'm with you. Happy, a win with improvement to come. We're all going to wake up tomorrow and we're going to see the Blues sitting in probably 5th spot, maybe 6th, but top 8 with 4 wins. And I think the stress will subside pretty quickly. And next week, this game today means nothing next week, and even less the week after. And we won't even think about it in a month from now. I'm just keen, bank the wins early, because the shitstorm is coming with injuries and COVID and shit's happening, and you just got to bank wins early when you can.
Spot on, man. Spot on.
Yep.
4-1, baby. We are 4-1 as a football club. Let it sink in. Enjoy it. Don't look for the negatives. Happy Easter.
Love it. See you, brother.
See you, mate.
What a star. All right. Where are we? Jim.
Hey, Terry. How are you, mate?
I'm good, mate. I think I'm better. I think I'm getting better and better. I'm starting to just enjoy it a little bit more.
4-1, man. How good? Like, unreal. Got to be glass half full. Got to be. We haven't earned anything. We haven't earned shit yet, this club.
Correct. We just want it so badly, and I sense that. I sense that everyone just wants it easy every week. Every week should be a 4-goal, 5-goal win, and if we get up enough, we should win by 10, 11 goals. That's just not how it works in this league.
No way. Like, we will earn it, but it's going to take some time. Like, we've got a lot of learnings, but we're winning. So, man, this is amazing. Like, I'm 31. I haven't seen, this shit since 2012. Like, this is unreal.
Mate, absolutely. No, I feel you.
Get around it. Like, it's sick. No one should be complaining about this. Like, we're not owed shit. We really got to work for every win. Like, we will get there, but this is really, really good learnings. Boss is unreal.
Yeah. I mean, look, the fact that I just feel like we're on the right path. I lost faith in what was going on last year, and I think many people lost faith even the year before that. And I guess the reassuring part is that I just sense that whatever's going on, even though there are learnings to come and, yes, all of that, I just sense that we're on the right path forward. We're stepping forward rather than stepping backwards overall.
Yeah, 100%. Like, we've got a game plan that looks right. Like, the handball game from the clearance, it's sublime when we're going. Like, it's really good. There was moments in that third quarter, I genuinely thought Port were the better team. In, the 25-minute block, everyone's going to go Carlton had a lapse. Port Adelaide are a prelim side from last year. They are not an 0-4 side. Yeah, they are technically this year, but they're not. We know that. If you watch a footy, they're a good side.
Yeah.
We held on. We'll learn a lot from this. Like, this is really good. Like, really good win. Huge win. Massive.
Huge win. We go to Freo next week. The Dockers are currently in a tussle with the Bombers. They're up by 10 in the third quarter. We kind of hope the Bombers win. I don't know. Do we? Do we hope the Bombers win? I hope they draw.
We don't hope the Bombers win, man. We hate fuck Essendon. They're gross. But we will roll Freo next week. We're a good side. Like, I really do believe, like, those close games we're winning, man, they're going to pay us back. Like, Joe's spot on. Like, we've all got to just, be a little bit level, be a little bit calm, composed. We can't expect the players to be composed if, as a fan base, we're like hot and cold. Like, we just have to chill out. All good. Trust Vossi. Trust the leaders. They're playing well. It's all good.
Yeah. Well said. I can't say anything back to that, mate. I love it. Love your work.
All good, mate. Have a good night, all right? Take it easy.
Yeah, bro. Liam Macca.
Terry.
Thank you for your patience, sir.
How are you?
I'm good. I'm up and about.
You
Fucking
getting there now,
4-1,
are
mate. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
I've been watching for a while. Your demeanour is slowly changing.
The stress has subsided, and I'm here. I'm here. We're 4-1.
The stress is ridiculous.
It was fucked, mate. There's no other word. I'm not sorry to swear. It was fucked today.
No, absolutely. I was talking to my dad at halftime, and he doesn't watch Carlton games. He's been a bagger since mid-60s. He doesn't watch us anymore, not since the early 2000s. And I was on the phone to him, and he goes, "How are we going?" I said, "Well, it's halftime. We're up by 50." I rounded. And he goes, "Oh, good shit." I said, "We should win by 80, hopefully. A touch wood and everything." He sent me a message with about 5 minutes to go, and he's just gone, "Fuck." And I'm just like, terrible second half. But you take it as it comes, don't you?
Yeah, of course.
They're the highs and lows of supporting the Carlton Football Club. Well, that's what it seems to be these days.
Yeah. I just have faith. It's just good to have faith in whoever's the group, the coaching, the off-field, the administration. For so long, I felt so disconnected with how I was passionate and how we were passionate about needing to win games and whatnot. And I sensed last year a real bad, toxic disconnect. And, the fact that we're sitting here complaining that we should have won games by more. I think you said it last week. You did. You said it last week, 18 months ago. It's a long time the way our demeanor's changed and what we're talking about now, our conversations.
And I said it against the Hawthorn game, my bipolar. I don't have bipolar, but Jesus Christ, I soon will. Because with the changes that have come in terms of the personnel in our team and the changes that have come off the field in terms of coaching, you look at it like the first half, Jesus Christ, mate. Like, I don't think many teams could match us with how we played in the first two quarters.
No.
But then you see what comes the next two quarters. What do you do? How do you feel? It's beyond belief, because you're up and about, and then you're sitting there going, "Fucking, here we go again."
Yes, exactly.
Here we go again. We're going to lose by 4 goals. But then they dig deep, and you're sitting there going, where is this for even 5-10 minutes per quarter when we're playing shit?
That's right. Plenty to learn, plenty to get better at, players to come back as well. I think I haven't seen any of what happened in the reserves, but I know that Stocker will hopefully be back over the next couple of weeks. I feel like McGovern should be back in the next month. Josh Honey, I think he's going to be back over the next month. We're getting closer to David Cunningham being ready to play footy again.
Which I love.
You know, Patrick Cripps is coming back into this team at some point, whether it's next week or the week after. You know, the question marks were asked, like, can we win without Cripps? Well, yeah, we did it.
We're in a very fortunate position for the first time in a long time where players are actually being asked questions when they get into the first grade team about their performance.
Yeah.
And I watched the Rezzies game today. I mean, there wasn't too much to write home about. We were dominated for most of 4 quarters. Didn't lose by, it wasn't a blowout, but, you know, today, in terms of today's performance, no one's pushing up this week for next week in terms of AFL selection. Nunes, you'd think, I thought he would have performed a lot better with just getting back into the first team. But I couldn't see it. Like, after coming up to half time and sitting there going, find a reason to sub him out.
You didn't like the way he played today?
He had a bit of effort, but there was just certain things where, like, I think there was something in the second or third quarter where he looked at another Carlton player. I can't remember off the top of my head. They both looked at each other. I'm sitting there going, Nunes, go hard for the ball, man.
Yeah.
It was in the back pocket. And I'm just like, what are you doing? Like, don't you have a point to prove?
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to is points to prove. Like, if you're on the cusp of selection and you get a spot in the 22, aren't you going hard at everything, doing all you can to sit here and say, hey, coach, I am ready for the call-up?
It's an interesting point. I think we'll chat about it throughout the week, how the inclusions. I actually thought Nunes was okay. I thought Cottrell was really good, to be honest.
I thought Cottrell was really good too.
That might have been the best game I watched him play.
And the thing is, born blue bag of Cottrell.
Yeah, I know.
Supported him as a kid, and you know he's going to give 110% every week because of the Guernsey.
Yeah. Before I let you go, I've got a request here from Pommy. He wants you to give us a wave.
Love you, Pommy.
Love your work, Liam. Thanks for coming on, mate.
Thanks, mate. Enjoy.
See ya. All right. Oh, Riley.
Well, I don't even know how to fucking feel, mate. Like, we're 4-1, but I don't think a club has ever got to such a stressful 4-1 as we have.
We only make it dramatic. The drama only comes in this way. How can you make a 50-point game such a heart stopper? It's crazy to me.
It is. But even if you think about it going on a slight different angle, our last 4 wins against Port Adelaide have been by 1 point, 3 point, 4 point, and 3 points today.
Wow.
It's just we just, for whatever reason, they're a tough football club, and I think we always knew they were going to come back after half time. Not by that much, obviously, but I think at the end of the day, we're 4-1. And if you said to the fans, and this is a classic argument, if you said to the fans we'd be 4-1, 6 months ago, we'd be laughing. There's a lot of things to work on, but I think what we do know is that with one aspect of key focus in terms of our game, which is contested ball clearance, it's more than good enough to stand up against decent opposition. Yeah, it's just when we start adding layers to this is when it's going to get really exciting for us as a fan base. So, I'm glad we won, but my God, they're going to kill me. They're going to kill me. They're going to kill you, mate.
They'll kill all of us, mate. Well, I mean, we're not even going to, some of us won't even be, touch wood, be alive to watch the flag. But, you got to win games at the MCG. You got to win tight games at the MCG. That's finals football intensity at its finest. The only issue was it was very self-inflicted, it felt. That's all.
Oh, absolutely. And I don't, it's an interesting one because it's, there's, in second halves this year, our last 4 second halves, we, minus 19 against the Dogs, minus 29 against Hawthorn, minus 16 last week, and minus 47 today. Is it purely psychological, or is there some sort of fitness issue because of how intense we play our game style? Yeah. Particularly the Hawthorn game today, we just looked like we were out in our legs in the third quarter.
Yeah.
At certain stages, and we're able to steady to a certain extent when it gets like really squeaky bum time in those last stages. But it's so intense. I don't know if the current way we're playing, as much as I love it and as much as we're going to add on, it doesn't look like it's necessarily sustainable for 4 quarters.
Yeah.
There's those inconsistencies there where we just go a fraction off on our pressure and clearance work, where we can get exposed the other way and have those frailties which we've seen, for the last decade, really. And that's not criticising, the current coaching staff. I think they've exceeded everyone's expectations. It's just a fact of where we're at as a football club right now, and we're still winning regardless.
That's the thing. We're learning these lessons, these tough, stressful lessons, but still winning. So, I hope we don't go through, some 4 or 5 week patch where we get 2 or 3 just heartbreaking losses. That'll bring us even. But you literally can only take it a week at a time. That's all you have. That's all you have.
Exactly.
The second we start saying, oh, we got North coming up, and we're going to beat them, and we're going to beat them. Oh, that should be a win. Like, no. What happens today and the situation in literally 7 days' time, and then by extension of that 14 days' time, is a totally different situation. It's fascinating how quickly things change in this league.
Yeah, exactly right. And I think we've almost got a similar sort of feel to us in the sense of the Western Bulldogs in this sense. When you play the Western Bulldogs in the last couple of years, they're never out of it.
Yeah.
But you're never out of it either.
Yeah,
and that's
correct.
probably how we feel like right now. We're always in the contest, but the opposition can always come because it's such a momentum, swing game, the way we play at the moment. And I think, the game coming up on Saturday night, let's not kid ourselves. It's the biggest game of the year we've had from an importance. It's an 8-point game on Saturday night. It's a finals that's coming out. It's a finals defining game. Let's say Fremantle will get up today. They're 4-1. It's an 8-point game. It's lit. We could potentially go top 4 to somewhere slightly back in the pack. So it's a big one. It is a massive one. I'm glad we got the win today. I thought that all our inclusions today more than earned their stripes. I agree with you on Matt Cottrell. I thought he played his best game for Carlton. I thought Jack Nunes, for the most part, did some really good things. Had a couple of ordinary-ish moments, but I think we're used to that from him.
Yeah, I just thought he was okay without being outstanding, without being terrible. Just meh.
Yeah, but I think he probably brought more production, from that sort of position he was playing than the other players that were there for the last few weeks.
Yeah,
really. When you look at it, he was more in the contest. And today reaffirms some other things we know. That our twin forwards are probably the best in the competition combined together outside of Hawkins and Cameron and maybe Danaher, McStay, and Hipwood when he comes back.
Yeah,
that's what we do have. We're playing halves of football and we're winning games. It's scary.
True. Riley, love you. I'm going to leave you. Thanks for tuning in.
Love you, Lynn. Take care, mate.
See you, mate. Daniel.
Oh, man. How's it going, Terry?
It's going good.
Oh, I don't even know where to start with that. I know everyone's saying the same thing. Like, first half, premiership winning team. Second half, we can't even beat an Auskick team probably, and that. But I'm still glad we're 4-1. I'm still happy that we're 4-1. It's the best we've been in about a decade, I would want to say. I think since 2012, and that. So I'm still happy with that. I'm still happy with that. Sam Walsh, probably his best game so far this season. He was on fire. 38 disposals, I think. Charlie was great. Charlie was 5 goals. He's up there in line with Coleman territory. If that's not really, I think our main priority is finals. But if Charlie does keep going the way he's going, we could make finals and have another Coleman on the shelf for one of our players, which would be nice to see. Yeah, I don't know. I've been watching kind of for a while this fan cam, and I can kind of see the kind of how it started off with a lot of emotion from people, including myself, and then as it's been going now for about an hour and a half, you could see people kind of just calming down after that.
It's a magical experience, I must say, because I said the real stress of the first few that came on, and it's fucking upset. I really did, and it was like that. And it was like that, but very similar to the Hawthorn game. I feel similar in the sense of, yes, of course, I want it easier, but I want to win more than anything. Winning is not the only thing that matters, but winning is certainly the most important thing. When it's all said and done, winning is the most important thing of all. So that's why I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm understanding where we're at. We're not there. We're not a great team. I think we're a good team. I think we're a solid little team. I think we've got some good little things going on, but I don't think we're a great team yet. And I think we're showing that literally all season. We've shown it. We've shown our good. We've shown our bad, but we've hung on. So I'll take it.
Yeah, it's like you've said. It's like other people have said. That's a game we're losing last year. That's a game we're losing by about 5 goals last year, and that will just let them run over us, and we'll lose by 30 points or something of the sort. It's like the last time we played Port. Granted, we weren't up by 50 points, but we were up by about 4 goals last time we played Port, and we saw what happened after that: 19 straight goals, and that. But I've kind of blocked it out as well. But at least we've come back with that. I was happy with most of the play. I don't think there was any player that stood out where I was really mad at them, even though I was very emotional those last 10 minutes or that whole last quarter. I think I had about 7 heart attacks in the case of like 5 minutes. I was happy with I think I agree with Cottrell had a good game. I think everyone was kind of did their part. I think it was just a case of fitness. There was something after halftime. It's just I don't know if it's fitness or something psychological. I think it's just they're just not that. We're just not that team yet, I guess. They're not thinking like a finals team because we haven't played finals yet. They're not thinking as a team that's a top 4 team because we're not a top 4 team yet. So I don't know if it is a thought thing or if it's just a fitness thing or if it's a bit of both. It's kind of it's going to be interesting to see. Next week's going to be huge, as a lot of people have said. I don't want to repeat too. I wanted to come on here trying not to repeat too much of what people have said because next week is going to be a huge game. But hey, I'm totally expecting that we're going to have a game this year that we're going to get slammed. Like we're going to lose by about 6-7 goals or something. Like we're going to be up by 4 goals and then lose by about 6 goals. I'm kind of expecting that to happen, and it's going to be to a team like North Melbourne or something, like some team at the very bottom, and everyone's going to be like, "Well, we got to write off Voss. We got to write off everyone," and everyone's going to. And then the following week we'll beat like Brisbane or something like that. That's the way we're kind of going. Well,
fair.
But it's
fair. No, fair. Well said.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming on again, mate. I do appreciate it.
That's all good. Have a good one. Go Blues.
See you, mate. All right, got 4 left. I'm withering away, so let's do this. Beachy.
Thank Christ for beating the Power today. Thank Christ for that. At 50 points up, I'm thinking, righto, how much? How much are we going to do them? And then I should have expected this because at some point, this is what we usually do against a side like Port Adelaide.
I mean, I don't know. There was just a drop off in energy, kind of like they felt like they had done the job, or think Pommy's mentioned it as well, the mental fatigue of playing the way that we do play. It is very ballistic. It is. The running, the overlap, is that something that we're going to be able to eventually get to playing 4 quarters of? Because if it is, we are in for party time if we can get that going for 4 quarters.
Oh, 100%. If we can get that going for all 4 quarters, especially within the next few weeks, we're climbing up. And, sure, we're coming up for 3-0 this coming week now, past today. Who, by the way, 80-39 up against Essendon with about a minute to go in this quarter. So they are killing them at the moment. That said, we haven't done too badly when we've had to go to Perth. It's our second home almost. We've usually had a decent showing of supporters over there. We just now need to continue building. Boss should know where to build next, but it needs to continue on the training track as well as on the ground.
Yeah, true. Very true. We'll take that win, move on to Freo next week, and hopefully we can do it again. They're actually, as we speak, they're up by 40 against the Bombers, so they're doing their job. So we will see how it all plays out.
Yes, exactly. I mean, 4-1 in 2022. I think we're going to be taking that every single day of the week. If you're not going to be taking that, then you need to get checked.
Agreed. Well said, mate.
Cheers, Derek.
See ya. Zach.
Oh, mate. I think the headline for today, for me at least, was ugly win over honourable loss every day of the week. You look at the last few years and the amount of times we've had a loss where we say, it's an all right performance. We can be kind of proud from it, but we still didn't get the 4 points. I think that good teams know, even when it's not their best football, they can still get the win. And I'm not saying that we're a team who can do that consistently yet, but if we continue with these performances and we continue getting the 4 points, then you look at the ladder at the end of the year and you suddenly got a lot of points accumulated. And I'd look at it. I'd be quite happy, to be honest.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm with you on that. If you had said to me at the end of the year would be 4-1, it'd be ugly. I'd be like, yeah, of course it's going to be ugly because look where we're coming from. Look, 2021 is what we're coming from.
Yeah, and I think when you look at the game itself, the main thing for me was the game plan was kind of lost after halftime. When Port put the pressure on, I don't think we backed ourselves to go in as hard as we were in the first half. I think we kind of just kicked it long, back to the old habits. But as the season rolls on, those old habits are going to be a thing of the past. And Voss only been here for 5 weeks, 5 rounds. So I think, say round 15, we're probably not going to be, resorting back to the Teague, kind of game plan of kicking it long. We're going to have a better system in place, I think. Well, at least I hope.
Yeah. True. Who was your best on ground?
I think you can't go past Charlie. I mean, he's just an absolute freak athlete. Whenever the ball goes next to him, he's always a chance, even if he's not. Mackay's like that too. Like they're just I've never seen anything like that. Like, yeah, Cameron and Hawkins are great, but Charlie and Mackay is so much better. Like they're just so dynamic that they'll even go up to the halfway line. They'll take a quick mark. And then they'll bomb it long into our forward line. They're just so dynamic. They're not just, we'll stay in the goal square. We'll just stay inside 50 the whole time. But they'll move up the ground. And if they're not getting involved, they'll get themselves involved to set them up for a bigger game later on.
Yeah. Well said. Love your work. Thanks, Zach.
Thanks, mate. See you soon.
All right. Lucky last. Andrew. Hello, sir.
Terry, how we going, mate?
We're good, mate. How are you?
I'm still calming down. Still coming down, but I don't know. Look, I was a bit worried about Harry today. I thought he was a bit flat. You normally see him quite active in the forward line there, and I just didn't see what we normally see out of Harry. I didn't see the 4, 5, 6 goals today, but. I was just a bit worried whether he's carrying injury. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I know it's an interesting one. He ended up having the 18 touches, took the 5 marks, kicked the 3, had a couple of hit outs too, chopped out. I don't know. I didn't see it that way in particular. But I think also there's an interesting part that Charlie's back, so he's probably not going to look the same. And they're probably just going to have to figure out, like 1 week it'll be Charlie. It's clearly his day today. Maybe 1 week it'll be Harry. As long as they're kind of kicking. I was saying it before the game. If they can kick anywhere between 6 and 8 goals between them every game, we are probably winning more than what we're losing.
Yeah, fair call.
You know, I don't know. I thought he was all right. I don't know. I guess where were you watching the game?
Actually, I listened to the game. I can't watch it from here because I don't have KO. So yeah, I'm a bit isolated that way. But yeah.
No, fair enough.
But I listen on the AFL app, and yeah, just watch the commentary and whatever. But yeah.
Yeah. Who did you sense was the best on ground today?
Look, I would say I think Sardi stood up pretty well today, and Walshy, yeah.
Yeah, I think you're on the money there. I think even George Hewitt seems to just keep kicking along.
Yeah, exactly. And I don't know whether our opposing teams, they look at our games and they see our game plan and they just say, they go hard the first half of the game and then they back off the second half. That's where we got to hit them. That just seems to be the way it seems to be panning out for us. We need to get out of that mindset. We just need to be, But I still believe, Vossi is our man. I mean, I watched his press conference last week, and that guy, he's not arrogant. He's a measured professional, and he just gets on with the job. And I think, with that sort of class and sort of skill, if we got him for a couple of seasons down the track, we're gonna see a definitely different Carlton.
True.
But,
I look forward to seeing it. I look forward to seeing how it eventuates.
Yeah. I think we need that polish, and I think he's the man that can probably give it to us.
Yeah, true. Well, mate, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for joining, and we'll see you next week.
Good to have a chat. Yep, and go Blues.
Go Blues. All right, I've got one more. He's holding on for dear life here. Zachary, I need your camera, bro.
Hey, how are you, Terry?
Good, mate. How are you?
I'm really good.
Talk to me. What'd you think?
Where do we start? That was very close. I was at the game with my grandfather, and we were shouting, and it was very hard to stay on with them. And it's great to get the win. It doesn't matter how you win; you just win it.
Correct. We haven't seen much success, you and I. We've seen very similar. So it's good to be able to roar and sing the song after a game, right?
It is. And I see everyone on the train go off, sing the song. It's amazing.
These are the memories you want to cherish. You need to experience them. You need to experience wins so you can have these memories. So that way, as you grow up, you hang on to the club and actually creates more passion as well.
Does.
Who did you think? Yep, go for it.
You go on.
I was going to ask you, who do you think were the standout players today?
I got 3 really standout players. I think Walsh just coming back in from his injuries really went well today, and Charlie with his 5 goals, amazing. And this is probably a bit surprising, but I think Cottrell did really well. I think getting back in the team, he's just amazing. He's a star. He deserves to be in the team.
Yeah, you like him?
I like him a lot.
Yeah, he did well today. I liked his game.
Yeah, and I got one more thing to say. To all the Carlton fans out there, just keep sticking with us. And get on board if you're not a member. And it doesn't matter. Just as I said, I was saying to my grandfather that it's such a different club. We're just so much better. We can control the ball. It's just so good.
Well
and
said.
You too, Terry. You to get on the fan cams. It's amazing, and you should be proud.
Thank you, brother. Thank you very much. I do appreciate the kind words. I think you've summed it up well. Get on board, buy your memberships, get around the club, and what a nice way to end. Thanks for tuning in, bro.
You have a happy Easter. See you guys.
See you, mate. Oh, what a champion that kid is. Absolute champion. Great way to end. Wow. An hour and 45. That was good. I sensed a lot of stress early in that. And then I sensed us just realize what it was. And that was another win. Yep. Would love to have put that game away. We did not need to feel that stress. But we don't get to choose how this development path is going to be. We don't. We surrender ourselves to what will be, which is the big unknown. It's so fascinating. Human beings putting all their time and energy into something that they cannot control. I don't know why we do it, but we do it because we love it. So anyway, we're 4-1, a tough win against the Power. We look at it. We'll tune in tomorrow night. Blue or Broad show. I'm going to film my review after some dinner tonight and enjoy the rest of it. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. Glad we got the 4 points and now we can enjoy the rest of the week. Have a good one. Happy Easter for those who do celebrate.